This is Mike with Fancy Foam Models. It's a quick video talking about the push rod ends on our trainer planes. All the Easy Fly models will come with this as well as a few of our other models. This is a simplified control horn over what we've done in the past, and the key to this is this little flexible 3D printed piece. So on the airplane we'll have our servo in the front, our control horn. This mounts to the surface itself. There'll be a slot in the surface and this tab glues into that slot. This 3D printed piece mounts onto the end of the control horn like so, and then also mounts on the end of the servo arm. These are just glued in place with foam tack or super glue. This other end of it, that flexes down, and the push rod, there's a hole in the end of it, and that push rod just slides right in there, and that glues in place. And so this flexible part acts as a hinge and allows us to assemble a connection from your servo back to your control horn. So once your control horn is glued in place on the surface with the flexible push rod end, your servo is glued in place with its flexible push rod end, then you grab your piece of carbon. You'll mark the length that you need for that. I use a little box knife. I'll set this down on the edge of a table, and as I roll the carbon, I'll push down and score that carbon. And then if I bend it a little bit and roll it, it'll snap it where I scored it. Once that's cut to length, I use this push rod guide. The bottom end glues down into a hole in the foam. Most of the kits have a hole already cut, and then the push rod slides through the hole on the top, and that secures the center of the push rod so the push rod can't bend and take away your control. So push rod end glued to the servo, push rod end glued to the control horn, and then once you get everything set right as far as this length, you'll glue both ends of the push rod into the push rod ends. In this push rod end, there's a V. You want to make sure that that V is facing, I guess, down towards the surface of the plane or in towards the servo. There's not enough bend here for it to go the other way. If I were to put this on upside down, that would hit. So you want to make sure that's positioned the correct way so that you get full movement in that. But that's our new simplified push rod ends for our trainer planes. If you have any questions, give us a shout. Email is mike@fancyfoam.com. Thank you.